everyone, welcome back to our math class. A very happy new year to all of you. I hope you all are fine and safe at home. So children, let's start today's class with the topic data handling. Okay, so before understanding how to handle a data, first let us understand what do you mean by data. For this, I would like to give an example and make you understand. Okay, first of all, let me ask you, did you ever heard about the word data? I think you heard about this word in the subject computers, right? In computers, data means information. Here also, in this case also, data means information only. But in this case, the information will be in terms of numbers. Means it will be numerical information. Okay, so suppose you are doing a survey of population. Suppose you are doing the survey of any disease like we have the COVID, isn't it? Now suppose you are going to know how many people are going to attend a particular event. Okay, suppose you are going to know how the scores or the performance of a child or of a student is in a particular subject. Then in all these cases, whatever the main important information will be there, that information will be in the form of numeral only, isn't it? It will be in the form of numbers. Now, why do we need to handle this information or this data? Suppose any information, let us take an example of your marks. Suppose I am your math teacher and I am going to take the marks of the students in mathematics in a particular section. So when I write down the marks or collect the marks, what will I do? First of all, I will list out the name of the students as per their roll number and then I will write down their marks. Now, are the marks scored by each and every student will be in a particular order? No, every student will score different marks. Now, whatever the numerical data or information I got here, they are marks of the students. Now, as the marks of the students are different, so and the marks which I got and recorded in my diary or in my register, that will be considered as the raw data. Okay, so the collection of any information directly from a survey or from an event will be called as the raw data. And in this information, each and every number which we are collecting as data will be called as an observation. So what is raw data? Collection of numerical figures giving some particular type of information in its original form is called as raw data. Now each numerical figure in a data is called observation. So suppose I have 45 students in my class. Let us consider it as class 4A. In class 4 section A, suppose 45 students are there. So how many data I will get overall? That there will be 45 students, means 45 different marks will be there and each mark will be called as an observation. So how many observations I will collect? I will collect 45 observations and overall the collection of these data or these numerical information will be considered as the raw data. Now, how can I handle it? What is the need of handling it? Suppose I want to declare who stood first in the class in mathematics, who stood second and who stood third. For this, what I have to do? I have to go through the data, numerical data or the marks of the student to decide who stood first and who stood second, who stood third. So, instead of going through every individual student's mark, I can make this work easy by organizing the raw data. How to organize the raw data? the organizing of raw data can be done in two methods, that is arranging in ascending and descending order or tabulation of data systematically. Either we can arrange whatever the marks of the students in either ascending order or descending order. If you are arranging the students' marks in ascending order, the least mark will come in the first position, then second, the next highest, and next highest, and the highest scored marks will be at the end. From this, if somebody will ask you who stood first, so the maximum marks scored by which student, he will stood first in the class. Similarly, whose marks are little bit less than the maximum marks will be in the second position, and so on. You can find out the position. Even if somebody will ask you what is the range or how many students scored more than 50, how many students scored less than 50, so that also can become very easy to calculate or find out when you organize the data. Now, after organizing this data, we can represent these data in many ways where our interpretation or answering to any question related to these data will become much more easier by this representation, different methods of representation of data. So there are few methods of representation of data. They are like using tally marks, you can represent the data that you arranged. Even you can represent the data through pictograph, bar graph, double bar graph, line graph, pie chart. Even we have double line graphs. Okay. So these are different methods to represent the data. Okay. So when we use tally marks, then that representation of data will be called as tally marks or data representation using tally marks. And if we use pictures or icons or some symbols to represent any data, that will be called as the pictograph. And if you are representing the data using bars, here in this case, in the case of bar graph, double bar graph and line graphs, you will find that you need to draw these bars on a graph paper, where we will learn about how to use a graph paper and some more new terms we will learn, that is about writing the scale of a bar graph. Writing the scale of a bar graph. Even we will learn about what is an x-axis, what is a y-axis, the horizontal axis and the vertical axis. So all these will be introduced in these three types of graphs, whereas the last one is the representation of data inside a circle, which will be called as the pie chart. Okay, so whenever any data or information, numerical information is given to you, you can represent these information in different ways using these techniques of representation of data, before which you need to organize the data in a systematic order. Okay, so now let us understand how to handle the data and how to represent the data in different ways, which we understood now through few examples as well as through exercise sums. Okay.